Hi everyone, my name is Maylis from Create Space, and I'm back with Dr. Paul Taylor Pitt to introduce our upcoming workshop, which is called Be the Change. Dr. Paul, before we actually start, I need to say something because I think you are one of those people secretly in my head, kind of like moonlight as my spirit animal. So, so I'm really excited to, get cracking and talking more about this. But before we dive deeper, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Oh, thanks, Maylis. It's really nice to have this time with you. You don't need to call me Dr. Paul. I only make my family call me that. You can just call me Paul. And likewise, I'm really looking forward to spending this time with you. So a bit about me. Who am I? So my name is Paul, and I'm an overthinker above and beyond anything else. I think I've lived in my head for a long time, and it served me quite well in a lot of respects. I quite like my brain. But I'll come back to that because I think it has also led me to a place at the ripe old age of 47 where I'm really starting to question some things about myself and starting to think about where I can find some new avenues for learning. Professionally, I work in the NHS. I'm an organizational development practitioner, which is about how we help transform systems and work and make them better places to be. And aside from that, I'm also a mentor, a coach, a facilitator. I dabble in photography now and again, and I would say, a frustrated artist and an aspiring writer.
Mm,
That's me.
gosh, it sounds like a busy world, doesn't it?
It's very busy. I've really noticed in this weird pandemic and lockdown situation, I feel like I've got much less time than I used to have. So I'm really trying to think about how to use it more wisely and regularly failing.
Yeah, I mean, we're super grateful that you get to make time for this workshop. So, actually, let's just dive a bit deeper then. So, why be the change?
Why be the change? I guess firstly, I feel really honoured and privileged to be able to offer a session. I've experienced your workshops before and got so much out of it. And it's a real privilege to be able to offer something back, which I hope is useful. And Be the Change came from an idea that kind of stems from being an overthinker. I like to think my way through change. And it's around about that time of year when people are setting resolutions or intentions, and we may already have broken them. So I was thinking about how could we approach change from a different place? How could we look at change from a positive perspective if there's something that we would like to change about ourselves? And the moment came from a real lived experience from a class I was doing, an online workout class, like a lot of people during the pandemic. And this was a brilliant, ridiculous class called Animal Flow, which is, I kind of call it like bro yoga. It's very dynamic and it's very masculine, and the positions are called beast and ape. It's very not yoga,
Oh, yeah.
but really exciting. And I remember being in this strange position, which I won't demonstrate for you right now, but imagine being on all fours, but kind of upside down, like so you're face up.
Right.
And then the instructor said, okay, now what I want you to do is to flip yourself so that you land in a front facing squat position.
Hmm.
And I just remember thinking, that's not going to happen. How can I do that? And he said, you just need to trust your body. And if you do this, your body will know what to do. And it was such a powerful moment because I realized I don't trust my body. It opened up lots of stuff about childhood, about growing up gay, about all those moments in gym changing rooms. There's something about if I stay in my head, it's quite safe because actually my body might give me away. And
Mm.
that experience was really exciting. It's really made me start thinking about change and learning and knowledge from a different place. So this course is really about how can we seek wisdom from non-cognitive sources? How can we draw on the wells of wisdom that we have in our bodies and our spaces rather than having to think about it all the time?
Wow. Do you know what? When you say this, I completely relate to you as, being an overthinker. And I'm like,
Right.
anti-thinking approach to bring about change. So if we
Mm,
were to look at it from, someone who is just like us,
Mm.
Could you give us an overview how we would go about bringing, this new process into play?
Mm. So I think one of the principles for me is that everything is an experiment. This isn't tried and tested, works for everyone, because everyone's different. And I really wanted to bring an experiential element to this. So the workshop itself is not something where people will just sit back and be spoken to or lectured at. It's the opposite. We're going to be creating a series of small experiments where people can try drawing on these different wells of wisdom from different places. So I'm going to be working with amazing people, Samantha Moyo and Rico Chase, who are going to be co-facilitating with me. And they bring such different aspects of change to this conversation. So I'm very lucky to be working with them. What we're going to be doing is taking people through 4 different lenses, I guess they could look at. One is going to be what we're calling visceral change. So how can you draw wisdom from your body? If you were to listen to your body, what would it tell you about the change you want to make? Secondly, we're going to use a model that comes from vocal change. So this is looking at how you can use your voice to embody and speak about this change that you want to bring about with authenticity. Thirdly, we're going to be looking at visual change. So how do you present yourself? Who is this person going to be? And what does this person look like when they put this into place? And then lastly, drawing on, I guess, the concept of street wisdom, which we can't really do at the moment in a lockdown, we're going to be looking at the lens of vicinity. So what around your space can you draw some inspiration from? So it's going to be very interactive, very experiential. Everything is an experiment, and I'm really excited to see where people might go with some of those different methods. They may not all work for everyone, but I'm sure someone will get something out of everything.
Wow, it's quite powerful, just exploring these various perspectives. And even I myself can think already, maybe foresee one or the other being more of a challenge. But then, as you mentioned, it might be different things that work for different people. But if there was an overarching element where you feel people might leave with something, what could that be?
So it will be challenging, and I think that's good. I think change doesn't happen without an aspect of challenging. And the easy way out is to just sit and think about it. Whereas we're going to be encouraging people to maybe move a bit out of their comfort zones into different spaces. But the intention behind that is that people will have a lived experience of this. It won't be a theoretical exercise. And so what they'll leave with is an experience of different ways of being that they can then draw on. And all of these things are available anytime because it's you. They're free. You don't have to you don't have to pay for any help or ask for support from someone else. But we're also going to be encouraging people to form some networks or some partnerships where they can start helping each other. So they'll leave with an experience, they'll leave with a clear intention of the thing that they want to try and change, and they'll have experienced it in ways that they may not have done before with some follow-up support. So hopefully a very practical, adventurous, exciting way to spend a few hours.
Wow. No, thank you, Paul. I mean, I could speak to you forever, but I feel like, if we carry on, we might give everything away. So I'm just going to
some mystery.
I know, right? So just in terms of wrapping up, Be the Change is going to be on Saturday, the 6th of February. And yeah, as you mentioned, beautiful team of individuals involved in this. So really a shout out to Mystic Moyo, Sam Moyo, and Rico Chase, and really excited to get going and do it, actually. So yeah,
Thank you.
see you there.
Can't wait to see you there. Thanks, Maylis.
Super.